Well, we're hanging out in the stash. It is over at Bear Mountain, and I have found the master of the stash, dare I say, Rosie. Thanks for catching up with us today. We're here at Bear Mountain. The weather tends to be a little bit nicer over here, and this is a really unique place, isn't it?
Absolutely. The stash is unlike many other parks around the world in the fact it's mostly constructed of wood and natural materials as opposed to your standard steel and plywood and snow construction in other parks. One of the things that makes the stash unique is it's not one solitary line as in your regular terrain park where it's feature after feature. Here, there's multiple sections and they weave in and out through the woods, in and out. So people are coming from all over the place, and that's kind of the way we designed it for that experience.
That brings me to the fact that Killington has such a variety of terrain parks, and again, you man all of these terrain parks. Who are we looking for? I mean, I know we've had some top athletes in here, but we also have maybe folks wanting to work their way into things, right?
Absolutely. We have all sorts of different levels of park. We just opened Easy Street Progression Park on the other side of the mountain in Rams Head, which has some smaller features, designed towards learning whatever age and or ability you are. Low to the ground, small, not intimidating, a mellow pitch so you're not going to get going too fast out of control if something does go awry. And then building up from there all the way up to, this park, the Stash, and our other signature park over at Bear, Dreammaker.
Some really impressive stuff here, and I know that it takes a lot of work, and I talk about this on the show, and I feel like the fact that I know you guys are out here no matter what the weather, hand grooming all of these terrain parks. It sounds like it takes quite a team effort.
It's definitely a team effort. Thank goodness there is a good team in place and everyone does their own part. I mean, it starts with snowmaking, because obviously without them, none of this could transpire. And then obviously the next phase is we bring in, our first shift builders and those guys, and we'll usually take about a week to build and put together a park from basically just giant piles of snow that the snowmakers have. And then the day crew comes in last, and then they basically work with the groomers on the last couple of days to fine-tune everything, develop exactly what we're looking for and making sure it works. We have a crew of 4 guys who goes out every night and they're in the machines both shifts, and then the day crew comes in the morning and they go through each and every feature with rakes and shovels and just make sure that any micro imperfections are eliminated and it's good. And then we do during the day get to cruise through and check stuff out to make sure it's designed the way we want it to be working.
You mentioned that progression park, the beginner area. The work that goes into that can't be undershadowed just because you think it's a little beginner park. I mean, there's maybe even more work involved conceivably because any little tiny inconsistency could throw a beginner off.
Absolutely. The little stuff gets beat on pretty good because everyone's basically taking the same line. There's not really much creativity or much options going through that level of rider. Their maneuver is basically, I'm going to go from point A to point B. And so point A is our takeoff and point B is the landing, and everyone goes in the same spot. So even though the takeoff may only be 6 inches tall, there's a lot of work that goes into those things.
And of course, there's the super pipe, and that's also something that takes a lot of thought and precision as well, right?
Absolutely. We actually have 2 half pipes, an 18-foot super pipe down here at Bear, and then a 13-foot mini pipe in Timberline Park, which is our medium level park. And both those get cut very frequently. And each of those has their own machine, their own implement to take care of that. And they're getting cut every other night, between each one and the other. So that takes a lot of extra effort too.
Well, thank you, I guess, is what I want to say after thank you for the interview, but thank you for all the work you put in here. It is fantastic. And again, just such a testament to the diversity and that amazing experience that guests get. So keep up the good work. Enjoy your time riding. I feel like we might have poached on that. So we'll see you out there. Have some fun testing it out.
Very good. Thank you much. Thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks, Jay and Bettina for that fine report. Well, we're here at the Stash, but this isn't the only action here on Killington. If you want to check out some more terrain parks, head up through Upper Mouse run. The Easy Street Progression Park's coming online this week too, and we've got a terrain park over on Timberline too. So we got parks and features all over the hill.
This is one of those places where you just take one run and you haven't experienced the full thing. You need to go down at least 4 times.
Well, we've got 3 more to go then. Hey,
right.
and after that, you know, I'm going to be hungry now. As you mentioned earlier in the show, we got a few stops to make down the road, but one of the places we always like to visit is down at Mogul's Sports Pub. Let's check in with Sal to learn more about Mogul's.